got my Starbucks. On the way to Walgreens to get this product called Lumify, because when your girl ain't getting no sleep like I didn't get last night, and that's one of the topics that's the topic that I'm going to talk about today, sleep. But last night I guess I was having too much fun or whatever, and fun at 50 is totally different. Not 50. I'm rounding it up now. I'm like, dude, fun at 40, 45 is totally different from fun at 20. So I just get that clear. But yeah, just, and you know, so right now I'm just showing up a little Starbucks. Got a caramel, iced caramel macchiato, non-fat milk grande. So yeah, today is Sunday, July the 20th, and it's pretty much, it's still morning time. It's 11:22 right now here in this beautiful state of New Mexico. And I think I mentioned I'm on my way to Walgreens. If not, I'm on my way to Walgreens, and just to get something for my eyes. I need some drops, and I'm going to use them while, you know, I record. So I'll see you back then soon. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Kay with Let's Talk with Kay, where I talk about either health, lifestyle, spirituality, and sometimes I add a little pop culture to that. And as you see, well, first I like to mention, well, I think I mentioned earlier that it is July the 20th. It's almost afternoon here where I live, and I just wanted to do a video. And if you stay a little longer, I do have like a small announcement to make. But yeah, I bought this eye drops. I used it before, it worked wonders, so I'm gonna use it during this video, and you probably will notice a change immediately. And yeah, before I go farther, it's called, let me see, maybe it's Lumify. It's really good. I'm not sponsored or anything like that, and I feel like I should incorporate things that I use as far as facial, eyes, whatever, you know, into my content. So I just bought a new bottle. It's expensive in my opinion, but if you like a contact wearer, I'm usually a contacts wearer, but recently because of allergies, I've been working, you know, like, I guess I'm not gonna say in dust. I'm not working in dust, but I have clothes that, you know, sit in my garage, but they packaged in like gallon size, what you call those, freezer bags. So I will only, you know, every now and then, maybe once or twice a year, I do inventory. And I don't have a laptop, and my iPad doesn't, I guess I can't go to all the platforms from my iPad. So I pretty much have to bring things inside the house, and during that time I'm breathing and the allergens and all that type of stuff, and also surrounded, so my eyes do get irritated. So I'm gonna add these drops in my eye where you only need one drop, and you can use it. They said wait 10 minutes before reinserting contact lenses after use, and I normally use my contacts about, you know, probably no more than 8 hours a day anyway. So let's see if they really work. They work to me, so you might see the difference in my eyes probably within a minute or so. But anyways, I'm gonna go to my topic that I want to talk about, and I got my coffee, my Starbucks with me. And this what I'm gonna talk about is like so relevant right now. And well, there's two topics. I want to talk about sleep, how important sleep is, and to get you some hobbies, especially to the women. Get you some hobbies. I'm gonna go into talking about sleep. I didn't realize how important sleep was until, I will say, last week. I had like 7 hours of sleep after pretty much not getting any sleep, probably like 5 hours or whatever. I was working myself. I wanted to stay up late, looking on YouTube videos and all that. And I'm like, I need some sleep. It's catching up to me. And then, plus when you or, me or you so used to not getting enough sleep, it's like it become a chronic thing, and it's like it's just part of your norm in your day. And then when you get that sleep, you realize, oh my God. And I would have to say this too. It's like after the first night of getting really good sleep, for me, I have to have 7 hours of sleep for me to be really, really functional, to not be really stressed out, to not be foggy in the brain, to not, so I can have enough energy to do all the things that I need to do and be clear-headed and, clear-minded. But if I don't get that 7 hours of sleep, it's like really hard to accomplish a lot. But I would say, I will give you a warning though. After you get like that number of sleep that you need for that first night, after not getting no sleep, it's like you don't want to get out the bed. And that's not really a good thing if you got like a 9-to-5 job, because I work for myself, so I'm more flexible with my hours. But if you have like a 9-to-5, you ain't gonna want to get out the bed. You want to stay asleep. And then so that's one thing. But like after the second, third day, you will feel really refreshed after getting those nights of sleep, and you're gonna want to get up out the bed. You're gonna want to make your bed up. You're gonna want to do more. That's the warning. You're gonna want to do more than what you normally would do. That's the great thing about sleep. And also another thing, like I'm in the process. One, I'm a runner. Two, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm losing weight. So when you're not getting enough sleep, one, if you're getting a little bit of sleep during the day, during the night, obviously, it seems like your body cannot metabolize, if that's a word, the food that you ate the night before, whatever. Like me, I'm gonna let you know, this is like my second recording of this video, because I tried to edit the video today and try to, put it out there on YouTube. And I was like, man, I'm looking at my eyes, and I'm like, dang, they kind of look red, and that's allergies and stuff. And then I'm like, I guess I just brushed my teeth and my mouth felt gummy or whatever. And I'm like, dang, so now I'm counting. If you notice me looking in the camera more, like looking in my mouth to make sure that I ain't got nothing like hanging off my lip or whatever, that's probably because I just brushed my teeth and just got out the house and didn't eat anything, really didn't drink anything. Okay, that's what it is. But this is like my second recording of this video on this topic. But I got off on a tangent. So I will say, if you like getting 4 hours, like today, for example, and this is probably why it's so relevant, because last night I didn't get no sleep. The past few nights I have been getting sleep, but yesterday was just weird. Me and my daughter, not to tell our business, we got into an argument, I guess dealing with a teen or whatever. It's like, oh my God. And then, of course, I guess one of my coping skills is to probably go on YouTube and watch videos, or my coping skills are probably normal. And then last night I was like, man, since I'm feeling all lit or whatever, but not in a good way, let me, I'm already pouring some Coca-Cola in my cup, and it's already late. I'm like, let me just try to pour up some Hennessy. And I think Spirit is like, no, you ain't gonna do that, because I tried to open that bottle up. I couldn't even open the thing up. I'm like, dang, spirit like, no, we don't want you to do that right now. That's not a good day to try to drink alcohol or whatever. And I really don't drink often. So I was like, okay, I guess that's my sign. So yesterday, I will say, it wasn't really great or whatever, but it wasn't bad. I think it ended a little bit better. Me and my daughter kind of cooled off and started talking or whatever, and things kind of went back to normal. We like, Mama, we need to come to Jesus moment, later on. We like, well, we do, things of that nature. But anyways, point I'm trying to make, I didn't get no sleep. I went to bed and I found another video on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and watch this. I just couldn't sleep. I had a lot of things on my mind. So, mind you, I think yesterday when I weighed myself, I was 161.3 or something. Woke up this morning, quote unquote, woke up this morning. They really get that much sleep. And went on the scale, I was 163. That basically told me right there that because I didn't get enough sleep, my sleep cycle wasn't fully complete or whatever you can say. I didn't go through those different steps, REM or whatever, of my sleep. My body didn't metabolize all the food and stuff that I ate. So of course, when I woke up this morning, it's like if I would have gotten a proper sleep, I would have probably been 161 and around the range I was yesterday, or I probably would have lost weight. And no, I didn't overeat or anything like that. So that's why, it's a really good example of why sleep, if you're on a diet, just trying to lose weight or change your lifestyle or whatever, and lose some pounds, that's the reason why sleep is so important. You can try to do everything you can. And what was that? Is that Siri just listen to my conversation and try to interject herself? And also, it helps, of course, the obvious reasons. It helps with stress, reducing that stress. You can think clearly. When you can think clearly, you feel more grounded. And it's so many benefits. And then when you try to exercise, it's easier to exercise when you have enough sleep, because you have enough energy and things of that nature. When you sleepy and tired, exercise, it's like if you're thinking about doing a 3-mile run or whatever, that run gonna feel like a 10-mile run going up a hill before you even started. So I will say sleep. And you like, what if you say, man, what if I can't really get enough sleep? I try. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse or anything like that, but I can tell you from my experience, you might want to go and talk to your doctor about getting a sleep, like a sleep study done, and because you may have sleep apnea. It don't matter what size you are or whatever. Sleep apnea you can have sleep apnea if you a little bit overweight, obese, skinny, normal, whatever. You can have sleep apnea. And I found out that I had sleep apnea. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I mean, my years will run together. I'm getting old. That I had sleep apnea. And yes, I visit the doctors often. No matter if I was talking to a counselor or, whoever, psychiatrist, primary care, it seemed like nobody for a while could put the puzzle pieces together and say, oh, she has sleep apnea. And I think later on, right before I got a sleep study done, like about a year or two, it's like an acquaintance, a different doctor from what I was seeing before. I talked about the signs. I was like, dude, I'm not getting no sleep. I can't sleep. Yes, I'm going through insomnia. I have a hard time going to sleep. But even if I do go to sleep, I'm waking up multiple times at night and things of that nature. And a couple of people finally heard my complaints. I was like, dude, I'm not getting no sleep. I'm like, do I have to start drinking to get some sleep? or popping pills or whatever, because I was, at that point, I was getting desperate, because I'm like, because it was affecting my mental health, it was affecting my physical health. I'm like, dude, I was just that desperate. I'm like, somebody need to help me get some sleep. So the right people finally started to listen to me, and it never occurred to me that maybe you need a sleep study done. And that's what happened. I was told maybe you need to get a sleep study done by an acquaintance that barely even knew me, and a new doctor or whatever. And I finally requested, because I was in the military, so I do go to the VA, and I finally requested through my VA that, you know, can I get a sleep study done? And I got a sleep study done. It was easy. I didn't have to spend a night somewhere. They told me to pick up a kit, which I did. I picked it up from the VA sleep clinic and went home, followed the instructions. I guess they got the results, you know, through the cloud or whatever. And they came back to me and told me that I have moderate sleep apnea. I'm like, whoa, really? And I was shocked, because I never thought I would have had sleep apnea. It didn't cross my mind. So I feel like, speaking of sleep, me talking on the platform, I feel like I wouldn't do my service if I didn't tell anybody to, you know, look into getting a sleep study done, because there's many people like me who really try to get sleep, and I just really couldn't get any sleep. And you had people telling me, oh, just do this and do this and do this. In reality, it was an underlying medical issue that was preventing me from getting any sleep. So I would say, if you have any issues with getting sleep, there will be signs. You waking up, like with me, I would say I was waking up multiple times a night. You know, 2, if your kids, if you have kids or a significant other, they complain about you snoring. That's another sign of sleep apnea, snoring. And what else? There's some other signs. I wish I would have looked them up to give you a more detailed list of signs of sleep apnea. I think sometimes they say maybe you'll notice in your diet how you're eating. Of course, the obvious one is being exhausted during the day. If you constantly exhausted, even if you had 7 hours of sleep, but you're waking up off and on during the night, and then you constantly, every day, you seem like you're just exhausted, then pretty much you're not getting enough sleep, and it could be through sleep apnea. So I say check that first. You know, all doctors are not evil and all this, because I know a lot of people, especially in the spiritual community, or the faux spiritualists, will talk about how evil doctors are. Don't go to the doctor. I'd be like, man, if you're getting your car checked every year to make sure you're getting the correct maintenance for just your car, you might want to get maintenance on your body, you know, that type of thing. And that's part of it, just being a big advocate for yourself. And so that's my spiel on getting the sleep that you need. Sleep is important to your body, to your mind, to your soul, all that type of stuff. And hey, if you're a spiritualist, you might be the type of person that have dreams and stuff. And I do get messages through dreams a lot. So if you're not getting no sleep, maybe you're not getting those messages that Spirit want to give to you. I just wanted to interject that. So the next thing I want to talk about is hobbies, especially to the ladies, because I notice, especially with women, when we get bored or whatever, we feel like, oh, we need to go on dates. Maybe I need to go online and, you know, try to do online dating to see who I'm gonna match with out of boredom and stuff. And then some people get desperate because their life is boring. They don't have no hobbies. They feeling like they're on a hamster wheel. Wake up, eat, dress, go to work, go back home, watch TV, whatever, rinse and repeat. And people are like, why you ain't talking to the men about this? Like, honey, I see men doing their hobbies all the time. I drive down the street, I'm seeing mostly men playing golf. When I was working at a 9-to-5 type of job, they were getting ready to play basketball and they groups and things like that. Video games, motorcycle clubs, car clubs, all these golf, all these different things that men do for hobbies. Hell, I go past the park in New Mexico and I see men dressed up in medieval times and fake swords or whatever and acting like they're having fights. So they have their hobbies. When women, we don't, I watch TV, that's rare. But when I used to watch TV or I'm looking on YouTube, nobody talk about hobbies. It's like, women don't do nothing. I'm like, dude, and it's always about the men, where my man? I'm like, I'm sorry, but a man is not gonna make you happy. Don't depend on another human to make you happy. You're the only one that can make yourself happy. You're the only one that can make yourself feel fulfilled and enjoy your life. So, and then also, when you ain't got no hobbies, you're depressed, you're bored, and if you're focusing on a man, then you get desperate. And next thing you have the homosexual crossing your path, and you're so desperate, you're like, come on, I'll feed you, I clothe you, I shelter you, I bathe you, whatever. You just like my kitty cat, except you're more expensive. And you're giving me more headaches. So you get more desperate to, now you basically entertaining the homosexual or the F-boy or whatever. And you're like, okay, pause, put a pause on your life. Find you some freaking hobbies. You're gonna make you look less desperate. You will be less desperate. Hell, you might realize, and like, dude, I don't need y'all. I like my peace and my happiness. I don't want to chance it and have drama with some homosexual or freakazoid or whatever. So get you some hobbies. People like, do you got any hobbies? Yes, I do. I do have hobbies. I do YouTube content, obviously. That's one of my hobbies. I run. I'm a runner. I run pretty much almost every day. If I don't run every day, I'm walking. Every now and then I do strength training, whether most of the time at home or I go to the gym and do strength training. So I do that. I read. Well, at least I'm starting to go back to reading. I play puzzles. What else I do? Every now and then I'm going to volunteer. I started volunteering again at the animal shelter. And there are other hobbies. You can play golf. You can, you know, if you like makeup, play in makeup. It's like, let me do this look or whatever. And maybe talk about it on YouTube. What else? Hell, these days, I implore women to join a gun club. Cause a lot of these men, and some women, but most of these men are getting desperate out here. They got a lonely male crisis, supposedly. They're acting like they regressing to go back to the caveman days. So I'm like, dude, as more men realize that a lot of women have protection, they're gonna think twice about doing something stupid. So I would say, buy you a pew and go to the gun club or go to a range and start practicing on how to use that mud. Because I was in the military, so I know I need refreshing. I need like a little fresh up or whatever on how to use one. I know how to use a big old, I know how to use the big, I don't know what's the lamest term for it, a machine gun. I don't know, that's the lamest term I can tell you. But I know how to use a 9mm or whatever. And people don't realize, some people buy them and don't know the power that's behind them. And some people won't have one because they scared to death of one. And I'm like, long as you practice the safety, long as it's not some type of like, what is this thing here? And you just like, I don't know what it is, and it's like some unicorn in your house. Then once you realize how to use it, the information on it, the safety, you know, the kickback on it and all that, it won't be such a, I don't know the word for it. It won't be like such this thing that's like scary. It won't be so scary. So I would say do that. Take self-defense classes or something like that. Women, we have to know our power. We can't act. This world is dangerous. It's like we're going to go around the world, dainty, and like everything's like perfect and rainbows and all this stuff. I'm like, y'all better get y'all head out the clouds and be for real. So I would say do that. Ride bikes. Do something. So next time with a dusty or a homosexual come near you, you ain't gonna be so desperate to the point you putting them in your car and taking them home like a pet. You'll be like, who are you? Get away from me. Get away from me, Dusty. My allergies are acting up right now while you're nearby. So yeah, so that's what I want to say right now. And get you some sleep, get you some hobbies. But anyways, my announcement. I normally post content at least one. I would say most of the time it's once a week, maybe on Sundays and Mondays. But I want to grow my channel, so it seemed like one of the ways people say to grow it, besides of course proper editing, being entertaining, and all that type of stuff, you gotta be consistent with it. And a lot of people that I do listen to, they post every freaking day. And like I said, I have my own business on the side that I do full time, but I'm pretty much growing that right now. But things have been more, I'm feeling more grounded, and it don't seem so stressful no more, to the point that I feel like it's gotten to the point where I feel like I can do a video every day. So I'm challenging myself. Every day, there's gonna be content every day. I would say for about 30 days. Starting, excuse me. I feel like I got to see, I'm paranoid about that. Starting today, this gonna be day one of my content. For the next 30 days, you're gonna probably see the good, the great, the bad, the ugly. I don't be surprised I come on here and be like, girl, you looking kind of rusty, dusty. Don't be surprised. During that time, you might see me with a wig, because I'm planning on buying a wig, because I keep telling my daughter at home, I need a wig, because my hair is in that, my hair used to be a lot shorter than this. It used to be way short. It was more of a pixie, and that's another story. So I said, you might see me with a wig. You might see me at home posting from my quote-unquote office, because it's really not an office right now. You might see me doing whatever, like day in the life content. You might see me, just, whatever. And like I said, I do volunteer, so you might see me, because I plan on volunteering at the shelter tomorrow. I might have content at the shelter. If they say it's okay, I would think they will say it's okay, but you will know the next day. Excuse me, because I'm paranoid about my mouth now, because it's like, I want to edit this video and I'm seeing sticky stuff like hanging. I'm like, what the world? So that's my announcement. And also, I'm going to start posting more on TikTok. So please follow me on TikTok at Let's Talk with Kay. And I would say I post on there. I don't really post on there often. I'm gonna start posting there more often. Maybe posting clips of my content from here onto TikTok and things of that nature. I said I need to be more, consistent on my postings and stuff. And also follow me on Let's Talk with Kay on TikTok. And I think on TikTok, I explore more about spirituality, conspiracies, because I like that type of stuff. I think that's going to be more the channel where I'm going to, or maybe not, I don't know. I'm probably going to explore more about the occult, spirituality in general, talk about my disdain for religion. What else? Ghosts and spirits, my experiences, and maybe other people's experiences. And I'm definitely excited about October coming up, Halloween month, because I do have ideas of what I want to do, not only on YouTube, but also on TikTok as well, on what to talk about to make it more scary and more ghouls and goblins and other stuff I want to talk about. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. So just follow me on there if you want to hear more about conspiracy theories and other stuff like that. I seem like I talk more. It seems like they give you more leeway to talk more about that type of stuff than on YouTube. It seemed like they want to put a shadow ban on you or whatever. So yeah. So I enjoy talking to you guys. If you enjoy my content, please like, please share, please subscribe. I see people that be watching my content and they're not subscribing. So please subscribe, hit that bell if you interested in more content and don't want to miss anything that I have. So until next time, have a good day, good week. Bye-bye. Forgot to show you guys. My eyes are not really as red as they were. I forgot to mention that. So yeah. Look what I see. Look what I see. A road runner. It was behind me. I'm like, oh. Road runners are like my favorite bird. I think they are so cute. Go run, runner. Beep, beep.